Lilith, the forgotten first wife of Adam. We are all familiar with the biblical tale of Adam and Eve, the first man and woman created by God, who lived together in the Garden of Eden. However, there exists a lesser-known and far more ancient myth that challenges this narrative. This tale comes from Jewish folklore and introduces a mysterious figure named Lilith, who, according to these older sources, was not only Adam's first partner, but also a woman far different from Eve. In this myth, Lilith was created not from Adam's rib, as Eve was, but from the same clay as Adam himself. Both were formed simultaneously from the earth by God, making Lilith not just Adam's companion, but his equal in every sense. From the very beginning, this equality led to conflict. Lilith was strong-willed and independent. She refused to accept a position of inferiority and would not submit to Adam's commands. She believed that, having been created in the same manner, she had the same rights and autonomy as Adam did. Lilith and Adam lived together in the Garden of Eden for a time, but their relationship was marred by constant disputes. Lilith's refusal to obey her husband and her determination to assert her own will put her in a difficult position. She was ultimately given a choice: surrender her independence and accept Adam's authority, or leave the garden altogether. Lilith chose freedom over submission. She turned her back on Adam and Eden, choosing exile over oppression. She fled the paradise and found refuge near the Red Sea, far from the perfection of the garden. God, not wanting to leave Adam alone, sent angels to pursue Lilith. Their mission was to persuade her to return to Eden and resume her place beside Adam. But Lilith, firm in her decision, refused. She turned her back not only on Adam, but on God himself. Her act of defiance had grave consequences. Because she had rejected divine order, she was demonized. Lilith was transformed in legend from a woman into a fearsome figure, a demoness. In her new, feared form, Lilith was believed to possess dark powers. One of the most terrifying beliefs was that she could harm newborn children and bring disease to infants. To protect babies from her malevolent presence, ancient people would place amulets near cradles, inscribed with the names of the angels who had once been sent to bring her back to Eden. These protective charms were meant to ward off Lilith's influence and keep her from entering the child's room. Lilith, according to the myth, grew bitter and jealous of the peaceful and blessed life that Adam eventually shared with his new companion, Eve. Some versions of the tale suggest that Lilith, driven by this envy, returned to the garden in secret. Assuming the shape of a serpent, she approached Eve and tempted her to eat the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. When Eve gave in and Adam followed, the couple was cast out of Eden, just as Lilith had been. This retelling gives Lilith a central role in one of the Bible's most pivotal events. However, this version of Lilith's story is not included in the Christian Bible. It is not accepted by Catholic or Protestant traditions. The idea that Lilith was Adam's first wife appears in the text known as the Alphabet of Ben Sira, a collection of Jewish writings whose exact date is uncertain, but likely originated during the medieval period. Despite being outside the biblical canon, the story has endured through centuries of storytelling and myth-making. Lilith's name and legend are also present in Babylonian, Sumerian, and Assyrian mythology. In Mesopotamian traditions, Lilith, or similar figures, were often seen as spirits of the night or evil deities. At times, she was associated with the moon, and like the moon, she was thought to have different phases and moods. In one phase, she could be viewed as a goddess of fertility, and in another, as a vengeful and dangerous figure. This duality made her both revered and feared in different cultures. There are even theories suggesting that Lilith was intentionally removed or left out of the Bible during the early church councils that decided which books would form the biblical canon. Some scholars argue that her story, centered around independence and refusal to submit to male authority, clashed with the patriarchal values of the time. A powerful, self-governing woman like Lilith simply did not fit into the structure the religious leaders wanted to promote. For this reason, in modern times, Lilith has been reclaimed by the feminist movement. She is often celebrated as the world's first feminist, a woman who chose freedom over subservience, even at great personal cost. Many feminist thinkers argue that Lilith was unfairly demonized, much like other women throughout history who challenged the norms and questioned male dominance. Her story is now seen not just as a tale of rebellion, but as a powerful symbol of a woman's right to choose her own path. Whether seen as a demon, a temptress, a goddess, or a heroine, Lilith remains one of the most complex and fascinating figures in mythology. Her legend continues to captivate the imagination, raising questions about freedom, power, and the roles assigned to women throughout history.